Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story and today is February 25th. That means one thing, we're running up until March the 3rd. Can you believe we're nearly in the third month of 2020 already? It is ridiculous. The time is flying. But anyway, what have we got to do in Destiny 2 this week? Let's have a look then, shall we? We'll start off by going to our favourite tower map. If you're new to the game, welcome. Come on in, pull up a pew and make yourself a brew. This tower map is just here. I've swayed off of it. Because reasons. Anyway, there's vendors all over the place. These little icons represent vendors, and vendors will give you bounties and quests and challenges. They sometimes sell things. Some of them trade stuff. So basically, you want to collect as many bounties and quests and challenges as you can carry and go do them. And you will be awarded along the way precious purple loot. It's all about that loot and having fun with your friends. For example, if we have a look at our gunsmith, his weekly challenge, spare parts, consists of taking 8 of his bounties and doing them, and then getting some powerful gear in return. Now, he doesn't offer 8 bounties straight away, so you have to come back the following day and pick up more. That's the way that it works. The same with Shax over in the Crucible, and Zavala here for the Vanguard, and your clan rewards. Earn 5,000 XP for your clan if you happen to be in one, and that'll get you some powerful gear at tier 2. Then there's the Drifter. I nearly called him the Gifter. That's a bit more upmarket and sophisticated, isn't it? But anyway, there you go. There's a tower map. We also like to visit our favourite Vanguard playlist. There are 4 activities here for you to start chomping upon. Daily heroic story missions will earn you nothing but XP. And the revisiting of nostalgia and whatnot. Then we've got the Vanguard strikes. The weekly is complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active elemental burn. What does that mean? Well, if you have a look at the weekly elemental burn, it's Solar Singe. Equip a solar subclass and go and do 3 strikes, basically. That's how you get that sweet purple loot. Today's modifiers are Grounded and Brawler. The weekly Singe will last all the way to the end of the week, because that's how it works around here. Then we've got the Ordeal, the Nightfall. It's the big daddy-o of things. It's the Pyramidion this week, so have at it. We've got a weekly here, Complete Nightfall. The Ordeal activities, higher difficulties grant the most efficient progress. Indeed they do. So run that a few times maybe, and then you'll get yourself some powerful gear at tier 1. However, if you complete the Nightfall with a team score above 100,000 points, you will get some pinnacle loot. Pinnacle loot happens to be the highest power level stuff that drops, so that's probably why you're grinding the Nightfall. And there is strike-specific loot as well. The Pyramidion will net you the Silicon Neuroma sniper rifle. If it drops in the Ordeal. I think it does. I don't think I've ever had a strike-specific bit of loot drop in the Ordeal, but it should. If it doesn't, I apologise, but it should. What is strike-specific loot? Well, if you go over to this Nightfall playlist, there are 3 Nightfalls to choose from. Each of these strikes will drop a very specific piece of gear, but they don't just drop willy-nilly. You may have to grind said strike over and over and over, and the longer you do it, the more your chances are of getting a drop. Whether that drop will be of any use to you remains to be seen. However, that's what you've got to do. Keep grinding and grinding. That is the name of the game. The Garden World will possibly get you a universal wave function exotic ship. Exodus Crash will possibly get you impact velocity, a exotic sparrow. And the Scarlet Keep, it says here, not the corrupted. So the API is actually reading something different to this. So this is the corrupted, that is the horror's least pulse rifle. The Scarlet Keep is unknown. It doesn't get you anything, but this could change then. I'm not sure. There's crazy things going on with the API. You could be wearing a dress and screaming without knowing any of that stuff's happening when it comes to API stuff. So just take my word for it and pretend it never happened. Okay? Anyway, moving on to Gambit. It's a double infamy or triple infamy this week. One of the two. We've got the Reckoning, which is a 1 to 4 players cooperative activity. I do recommend 4 players, though. This 1 to 4 business is a little bit on the tongue-in-cheek kind of side. But anyway, there are three flavors. That's a tongue twister. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Each go up in difficulty, even though they are the same power level, and they will drop various bits of loot going in there. So have fun with that. Then you've got, there is a burn. It's Void's Edge, the weekly burn for that, and the daily modifier is Brawler. There you go. Then we've got Gambit and Gambit Prime. Complete 3 of these games. Complete 3 matches of either of this playlist, and that will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. Isn't that fantastic? There's also private matches if you want to get your entire family together and teach them how to play Gambit. And may the sea boil in hell. Anyway, how's about Crucible? There's plenty of stuff. We're on the last. This isn't really part of Crucible as such. At the moment, this is the Empyrean Foundation, where you're donating or investing your fractaline, oh my darling. But there you go, we're on the last little bar there. But anyway, Crucible, there are 2 playlists to natter about here. We've got Rotator matches, which consist of this week Mayhem and Countdown. That's a 4v4 activity, and Mayhem is 6v6 with plenty of super energy and craziness going on there. It's a bit like classic mix. Anyway, 6v6 and a 4v4, that is the Rotator matches. So 4 of those completed across either of these 2 playlists will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. Isn't that fantastic? Then we've got the core matches, which consists of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Survival Freelance, Classic Mix. There you go. That's all in the core playlist. That'll get you powerful gear at Tier 1 if you complete 4 games. That's completing 4 games, not dipping a toe in, and then quitting and going off and having dinner or going to the movies or whatever. That means completing games. So you've got to do that 4 times if you dare. Then there's private matches as well if you want to grab hold of your nun and show her how to corner camp with shotguns, for example. Nice. The flashpoint this week happeneth to be on the European Dead Zone. There it is. What's a flashpoint? Well, if you go and visit these public events and do them, then that will build up activity progress towards your flashpoint. You can check on your progress here with Uncle Beardman. I think that's a better name than Debrim, to be honest. Uncle Beardman. There we go. Weekly, complete those activities in the EDZ and you'll get some powerful gear at Tier 1. You can also loot lost sectors. They get you a small amount if you kill the boss and loot the chest. There you go. That is the flashpoint, and that is on Earth this week. What about other things in Destiny? Well, we've got the moon. I like the moon very much because it's kind of new still. But we've got some activities here. We've got nightmare hunts. There are 3 to choose from this week. They do revolve. The weekly is complete any nightmare hunt activities. All difficulty tiers grant progress, similar to the ordeal Nightfall. And that will get you powerful gear at Tier 1. Then there's the weekly complete a nightmare hunt on master difficulty. If you're feeling very beefcake, that will get you some pinnacle gear as well. You can get pinnacle gear from the Pit of Heresy. And you can also get pinnacle gear from the Garden of Salvation raid. But you need plenty of players with you that are very strong in the PvE. There you go. There's also Altars of Sorrow, which is a horde mode activity that on the final horde wave, there will be a boss. And if you defeat the boss, you will be guaranteed a drop. Each boss drops a different piece of gear. I can't remember the names. I do apologize, but there is a sniper rifle, a kinetic slug shotgun, and a rocket launcher. There's also some activities down here. Nightmare Slayer. I still haven't completed my Nightmares defeated, but there you go. Defeat the Nightmares in the Sorrows Harbor. So that's the Nightmare bosses. And 30 of those will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. And then there's Luna's Calling. So replay the memory quest. And you'll get yourself some powerful gear at Tier 1 from Eris Morn. That's the moon. There's also stuff to do on Mars. We've got our old-fashioned escalation protocol. 7-wave activity, similar to Altars of Sorrow. Altar of Sorrow is actually an updated version, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. But Escalation Protocol is 7 waves, and today, this week even, it has a chance of awarding all of the Ikelos weapons. That's the shotgun, the SMG, and the sniper, but only one at once if you get lucky, not all three at the same time, although that would be a very lucky drop indeed. But there you go, Escalation Protocol, the sniper, the SMG, and the shotgun, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that nice? What else is there? Well, over on the Dreaming City, we do have a few more activities. You'll have to mosey on over to Petrovenge, pick up the bounties, and the Ascended Challenge is at the Chamber of Starlight this week. It's all the way over there, so pick up the bounty, go off there, drink your tincture of Queen's Foil, disappear through the portal, and complete the very lovely mission, and you'll get some nice stuff. I promise. Kind of, maybe. Crossing my fingers behind my back. But anyway, there you go. The Chamber of Starlight Ascendant Challenge. Amazing. What else is there to chew upon in the world of Destiny 2? Well, of course, there's Mercury. You've got some activities. Go to the sundial and earn points and generated polarized fractaline. That sounds like something Mary Poppins would sing boisterously at the top of her lungs. Powerful gear at tier 2. Isn't that amazing? And then now what do? We have a look at a couple of vendors in the tower. And we go and have a look at the Leviathan vendor armor. I don't know why we're doing that still, but let's not break a tradition. But I like this vendor it's a good example of vendors. We've got weekly bounties here that award special stuff, XP Glimmer, upgrade modules, Dustlight Shards, planetary resources. Nice. Isn't that good? Because you need to upgrade modules to upgrade those modules and bits of gear and stuff. Then there's the daily bounties. This pertains to the weekly. So you can pick up 4 now. This doesn't count. It's confusing, isn't it? This doesn't count because that only gets you Glimmer. Or does it? Do additional bounties count towards you weekly? I think they do. I'm talking out of my posterior fathom. Don't listen to me. But yeah, you can pick up quite a lot. So you can do the weekly quite quickly. So yeah, we'll just pretend that I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you've got those. They will award enhancement cores and mod components, which are very important things in the world of Destiny, so you can mod your components and enhance your cores for your armor and whatnot. Then there's the material exchange. We've got a weapon mod and an armor mod. We've got this scout rifle dexterity for your armor, and there is a major spec for your weapon. These will rotate on a 24-hour basis, so if you don't like the look or the smell or the taste of these, come back in 24 hours and they will change. You can also swap some materials for some different materials for an exorbitant price. Anyway, what else do we want to look at? We're going to have a look at the Leviathan vendor because reasons. See you in a minute. Derelict Rabbit Hutch. What have you got for us this week then? I will say it is the helmet of the normal Leviathan, the gauntlets of the Prestige Leviathan, the chest piece of the Eater of Worlds, the boots of the Eater of Worlds, and the Leviathan Spire of Stars. Class item and inaugural address pulse rifle. This robotic gentleman has a brother from another mother all the way over on Nessus. If we travel over to the Watcher's Grave and to the Flying Golden Brick, then I'll show you a different inventory because it's always different. Werner, here he is. What differences is it this week? It is the Mask of the Eater of Worlds, the Gauntlets of Spire of Stars, the Leviathan chest piece, and the boots for Leviathan and the Eater of Worlds class item, and its stared back legendary sword, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've got from these guys. How's about having a look at the Eververse store? Crack open that purse and spend all your hard-earned cash at Eververse. We've got the Origami Crane exotic emote. We take a piece of paper, we fold it together, then we scrunch it, and then it's a ball. And it goes in the bin. It's a flying goose. There you go. We've got the violent exorcism. I read that as orgasm then. Violent orgasm for the arbalest kinetic linear fusion. Motive force. If you want to be a cabal zipping around on a bike, that is the Sparrow for you. The simulation shell. That is nice as well. And then there's the ghost projections and fond memories, engrams. We've also got a variety of boons and shaders and transmat effects, and the prod is actually available for Bright Dust and Guardian Buy, which is like no, there we go. I might actually have that for myself. I quite like that one. Anyway, there's seasonal stuff, all cosmetics here if you want a bit of this in your fancy basket. You can peruse at your leisure. There's loads of stuff to choose from. There is a warning. Items may become unavailable for purchase after the season ends. So you might want to think about that. And then there is the archive, which is from seasons that didn't disappear, that were available after the season ends. There you go. There's lots of it to sniff. And then there's the Bright Dust section. Isn't that amazing? We've got Cow, Bell, the Prod, Perennial Velocity, On Shell, the Packmaster's Command for the Lord of Wolves, Future Facing Plaint. This is different for all of your class characters. And then there's the Red Legion projection. We've also got some more shaders and transmat effects and business right there. Ladies and gents, that is everything from Destiny 2 Weekly Reset this week. I hope you've had a fantastic time. I'd like you to take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and remember, smoke me a kipper, because I'll be back for breakfast.